People of the world, oh, so Thursday, so much marketing as a foreign language. Hi, I'm your host. Today, Wichita police make 2 arrests in social media threat towards area community. Facebook Marketplace is open for businesses selling new products. Diagnose Google Ads performance changes faster with explanations. Your customers aren't interested in your COVID messaging anymore. What now? How a bakery went from creating bespoke cakes to shipping DIY kits during the COVID-19 pandemic, and warning prompts added to Messenger threads, starting in the bustling metropolis of Wichita. June 4th, Park City. The Wichita Police Department has arrested 20-year-old Michael Boston Jr. of Wichita and a 19-year-old Rashawn Mays of Park City, both on charges of incitement to riot. On Wednesday, the WPD received information about a social media post encouraging others to meet at 21st and Arkansas at 7 p.m. and then traveling to other parts of Sedgwick County and engaging in violent behavior. The investigation revealed Boston and Mays were responsible for the post that was shared thousands of times through Sedgwick County and surrounding areas, causing fear and panic to citizens and business owners. On Wednesday evening, officers located Boston and Mays, and they were arrested without incident. Looking at the looking at the tweet right now. Finish where we started. Let's spread all over the city and go crazy tonight. Okay. All right. So what is the plan here? So this is obviously dicey territory. Is it okay for people to protest? Obviously. When do we cross the line into inciting riot? When is this free speech? When is it not? As we've mentioned multiple times on the show in the past, I do think artificial intelligence is going to come into this space. But as it stands right now, it's the Park City Police Department that decided that this particular tweet had gone too far. Quote, there's a lot of stuff going around on social media. You know, some of it is people toying with others, according to WPD Chief Gordon Ramsey. He says, but we are prepared and we are ready to deal with anything that comes along. We're going to keep the city safe and aggressively go after those that are victimizing our neighborhoods and businesses. Obviously, there's an argument here for free speech. The call to violence, I suppose, in the tweet itself, they blurred out some of this and shoot us. We gun up to the white neighborhoods first step. We gun link up off 21st. Next step, we finish where we started. After all that is finished, we go towards to me, it sounds like I heard Walmart and other places got white folks talking blank. Let's spread all over the city. I don't know, man. I don't know. This to me sounds like censorship. And so this era from Trump all the way down to the Wichita Police Department, everyone is trying to figure this out. So they have arrested these 2 young men, I appear, 20-year-old Michael Boston Jr. and 19-year-old Rashawn Mays on incitement to riot to organize what appears to be a protest, and the language of incitement, according to this, and what I'm seeing here, is let's spread all over the city and go crazy. I don't know Wichita Police Department where I fall on this one. This one's a little bit arrest on incitement to riot. Okay. Facebook Marketplace is open for businesses selling new products. The marketplace used to only be a C2C, customer-to-customer platform, but now there is a major B2C, business-to-customer, opportunity for U.S. retailers. There is an old misconception that Facebook Marketplace is still only a C2C platform similar to Craigslist. This is no longer true. In its initial stages, Facebook Marketplace was only offering individual users the opportunity to list and purchase items locally. Okay. As the marketplace grew in popularity, Facebook added new features like the ability to process a transaction through checkout. Excuse me. and the option to offer shipping. Now, Facebook Marketplace is open to US-based businesses selling new products. Okay. According to Facebook's internal data from 2019, 1 out of 3 Facebook users also utilize Facebook Marketplace, which means there is a major B2C opportunity for US retailers. Okay, so Facebook Marketplace, if you're selling online, it has low selling fees with a commission rate of 5% or a minimum of 40 cents for transactions under $8. Facebook currently offers some of the lowest selling fees among marketplaces. Okay. As of today, the commission rates do not change based on product category, unlike other major marketplaces. On Facebook Marketplace, there are also no listing fees, which means you can upload unlimited inventory, and there is no subscription fee. Look, Facebook's got infinite money, and so their marketplace, clearly here, has some favorable terms, at least according to marketland.com. As marketplaces grow in popularity, they tend to increase their commission rates. Amazon's recent increase from 15 to 17% for apparel categories is a prime example. Pun intended. Although Facebook has given no indication that they intend to increase their commission rates in the future, blah, blah, blah. All right, getting on Facebook Marketplace can be a simple transition. Since the B2C opportunity on Facebook Marketplace is still in beta, okay, you must meet certain criteria in order to list on Marketplace. All right, so if you're selling a physical good, I would definitely swing by Facebook Marketplace to see how and why you could use that platform. Facebook prefers that retailers work with an approved listing partner like Feedonomics to get their items on the marketplace. Interesting. So it looks like you're going to have to go through a third party, or at least they prefer that you do. This is because listing partners have already gone through the onboarding process several times and have contacts at Facebook who can help with any tricky situation. Of course, there are going to be many, I imagine. Fake sneeze. Real sneeze. That's how you know it's live. The onboarding process consists of the usual marketplace setup. Input your business information, adjust your shipping and tax settings, link accounts for payments, and select your data feed source. All right. Facebook Marketplace is a package deal. Listing your inventory on Facebook Marketplace opens the door to using the same catalog for checkout on Instagram. Yeah, okay. It's pretty good. Instagram and Facebook are the two most widely used social media networks in the US, and the 5% commission rate stays the same. Okay. So if you're selling a physical good, I'm thinking clothing. Hello, obviously. Makeup. Sure. Facebook Marketplace plus Instagram. That's a no-brainer. This can give you access to significantly different audiences without requiring much additional setup on the integration side. According to the Pew Research Center, Instagram captures a younger demographic and Facebook trends toward an older demographic with significant overlap in the middle. That makes sense to me. Before you list your products on both sites, consider which channel fits your business strategy. You may as well do both. I mean, if it's easy to integrate. Look at that. That's gorgeous. You see that? Selling some makeup onto Facebook. Facebook has the ability to make shopping highly personalized. Facebook uses the data about its users to help connect them to products that they'll like. As the user interacts with Facebook Marketplace over time, customers will experience a more tailored feed based on variables such as products that they're interested in, I assume is what they mean, or what they've clicked on. So yes, if Facebook's going to do the heavy lifting to help you sell makeup, and they know, let's say, the tones of this particular user, they're going to, if you provide them the ability to market, let's say, those specific skin tones, then it seems as though their AI will automatically do that for you based on how folks interact with your particular ads. This is to say that if you have a variety of products, it is more likely that Facebook's algorithm will personalize based on its ability to do so. Your products on Facebook will show up in multiple places: newsfeed, marketplace, and page shops. This is like a no-brainer. Newsfeed listings appear between posts as suggested products. Marketplace listings will appear among other marketplace products, but each user will be shown the products that they are likely to purchase. Because of this, no two users will have the same marketplace feed. Facebook has an incentive to get a maximum number of sales, do they not? If I believe it was a 5% commission. Yeah, they want to sell just like you. They have an incentive. You have an incentive. That's how good business works. Here we have some jewelry examples from, it's just a test, Fido test perhaps. Looks good. Looks good to me. You will need to be logged into a computer. Oh, shocking. Then go to your Facebook page and click on the shop tab. From there, you'll be directed to your commerce manager where you will need to link your accounts, set up your business policies, and set up payouts. Look, seems pretty straightforward there. I like the Facebook Instagram integration. Diagnose Google Ads performance changes faster with explanations. What does that mean? 4 hours ago, Google Ads has announced a beta for explanations to help speed up the process of diagnosing changes in impressions, clicks, cost, and conversions. This makes zero sense to me. Anyone who has run Google Ads for a while has experienced logging in and noticing a decline in conversions, impressions, or click volume. Right. Same ad over time equals that. This immediately sets off a hunt for what's causing it, which can be a time-consuming process. Common causes can be things like broken tracking, a new landing page that's underperforming, changing bids, adding new terms, a delay in reporting, or a myriad of other issues. Google Ads has announced a beta for a tool called Explanations because here's what they don't want. They don't want you calling them. They make a ton of money, and their Google Ads support is really, really, really good. If you want to run Google Ads, you can. You're probably going to operate at like 60, 70% of what a pro would do, which obviously it's a huge margin. I mean, if you use someone who really knows what they're doing, and I've had mediocre people, for lack of a better word, and I've had exceptionally good pay-per-click people. The difference is noticeable, but that being said, Google spends a ton of money on payroll to have competent people answering your Google Ads questions because it's their primary driver of revenue. But obviously they're going to build a tool so that you don't have to talk to a person because they want to save as much money as possible. So they've announced a beta called Explanations to help speed up the process of diagnosing these changes. They are promoting it as a way to find issues faster, cut down on the time spent digging through reports, tools, and data, available campaign types and metrics. It will only be available for search campaigns using manual bidding or enhanced cost per click. It will not be available on display, video shopping, etc. It supports data for impressions, clicks, costs, and conversions, with the data only available up to a 90-day window. How to access Explanations. The function is tucked a few levels down, in the reporting mechanisms of Google Ads. Jeez. As opposed to being prominently displayed. You must choose a search campaign and then either a campaign or an ad group first. All right, so let's say you do all this. Then what? You choose your date range. You do a compare for blah, 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 blah. All right, so then what? Oh my gosh, clicking on the blue percentage change. All right, so you dive all the way in and there is a percentage change. It goes up or it goes down. We assume they're showing us going up right here, but let's assume it goes down. Clicking on the blue percentage change will open up a pop-up with a call out of the change and the option to view explanations. Beta. Wow. Clicking on it will open the explanations panel on the right-hand side of the screen. It displayed a load screen as it scanned possible reasons for the impression. Wow, that's interesting. Look at that. Areas explanation is checking for search interest. Well, that's actually kind of fascinating. Let's say the number of people searching for it has just gone down. Auction activity, more people are bidding on it. Campaign settings, that would be a user error. Budget, your budget went down or up. Bid adjustments, negative keywords. Interesting. Targeting changes. And then provides the explanation with relevant data to support its finding. Wow. I am definitely going to talk with my pay-per-click guy about this. This is kind of fascinating. In this example, it was due to an increase in searches, and it notes the specific terms where the increase occurred. Yeah, so client comes in, they say, hey, look, we've had a decrease in garage door repair related clicks for this particular county or whatever. You could run this, and if it's just, maybe it's auction activity, which is to say 2 more locations opened up. I can't control that. Or maybe search is down for that. I mean, COVID, hello. But you can actually apply data to it. This is cool. In this example, it was due to an increase in searches, and it notes the specific terms where the increase occurred. I like it. All right, so here we go. The different kinds of changes. Bid changes, so you change the amount of money you spend. Bid modifier changes, changes to things like device location, demographic, and audience may have affected performance. So you change it from desktop to desktop and laptop, or vice versa. Budget changes, you spend more or less. Bid changes, I incorrectly said that. That would be how much you're willing to spend for a click. Budget allocation, spreading your budget across multiple entities may have affected the performance, such as adding new ad groups that are now sharing a budget. That I like as a explanation with something that previously had steadier performance. Yeah, so you are spending $50 a day, you add 3 more ad groups, whatever, and now you're not spending as much on average across all of them. Obviously, budget exhaustion rate. If you change your cost per click, if changing your cost per click is causing you to run out of budget. Conversions, if you changed conversion actions to count or not count in your calculations, or if settings may have affected the totals. It will also include data on conversion lag and tag firing frequency. Conversions are complicated. For you, listener, the likelihood of this being relevant is only insofar as are you converting or not. Eligibility, whether different factors may have affected how often your ads were eligible to be shown. From time to time, we will get clients that want to advertise marijuana or guns or a prescription drug. And trust me when I tell you it's complicated and sometimes not at all possible. Auction competitions and search interest. This I love. More people are fighting for it, and the number of people searching for it has changed. Good job, Search Engine Journal. I'm so impressed by you right now. Susan Winograd, killing it. Good article. Your customers aren't interested in your COVID messaging anymore. What now? COVID burnout is real, but the pandemic is not over, says Greg Sterling. Thanks, Greg. Posted this at 9:12 in the a.m., so you know he's a go-getter. Even though the coronavirus is far from fully under control, there's evidence of COVID fatigue. You might be able to hear that evidence in my voice. Everywhere you look, it casually appeared in late April, and then in the crowded Wisconsin bar scenes and packed Alabama and Florida beaches. Memorial Day weekend, people are ready for the outbreak to be over, which extends to content from brands, which is fair. Mounting evidence of fatigue as early as mid-April, roughly 3 weeks into state lockdowns. There's evidence of COVID fatigue showing up in audience engagement data from Chartbeat and Taboola, as well as survey data collected by the Harris poll and communications firm Mitto. The Harris survey found that 93% of respondents were interested in hearing about non-COVID topics, and that 66% were feeling overwhelmed by all the coronavirus coverage. Roughly 40% wanted to see stories of hope and inspiration instead. Not at all surprising. The Mitto survey polled 7,000 people in the US, China, Australia, Spain, and several other countries. They found a general appreciation for earlier brand communications about COVID-19. According to the survey, 77% said that the messages they received from brands over the past few weeks have made them feel like brands care about their well-being. However, 41% of the respondents in mid-April were then ready to hear from brands about topics. Yeah, we get it. The stream of important messages from CEOs, tips for dealing with the new normal, and premature cheerleading about recovery created a cacophony of often generic sounding content. Look, I think if I were to write another book, there would at least be a chapter, or maybe the name of the book would be generic sounding content. 95% of small businesses only produce generic sounding content. Accordingly, in early April, I wrote about how marketers and brands could differentiate their efforts from the sea of coronavirus content, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The new challenge is how to move beyond coronavirus communication, but not pretend the outbreak is truly over. There's a challenge of industry-specific issues, dentist versus restaurant, very true, regional differences, politics, and audience age differences. All these variables make brand communication more difficult coming out of the lockdowns than going in. Yeah, it was pretty easy going in just to say, okay, we're here for you, we support you, blah, blah, blah. For some practical perspective on how to deal with COVID fatigue and content Going forward, he turned to a number of these people, and they weighed in. All right, you get the idea. How a bakery went from creating bespoke. When did this word get on the scene? Bespoke. It means custom. Cakes. But they're not custom, are they? No. They're bespoke. This is my bespoke mac and cheese that I just made. To shipping DIY kits during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the coronavirus outbreak caused the cancellation of social gatherings and events. Order cancellations at Hoboken, New Jersey's Sugar Suckle Cake Shop went with it. Quote, we had to come up with a new product fast, co-founder Jen Choi says, aware that the market for beautiful, bespoke cakes had just about dried up. Jen also knew that sheltering in place meant families would spend more time together at home and could benefit from fun, kid-friendly activities to do around the house. Anticipating the changing needs of her customers, Jen seized the opportunity to create new DIY baking kits with pre-measured ingredients, essential supplies, instructions, and pro tips from her team. This is how you get rich. This is how you get rich. Hi, I had a shop. What we were selling was no longer relevant. We changed. We turned on a dime. And now we're sending through the mail pre-measured ingredients for like do-it-yourself cake stuff to hang out with your 6-year-old on a Sunday. Brilliant. Look at this. You see this? Look at that dough. I mean, turn on a dime. Get them. Get them, Jen Choi. Kits featuring new recipes would be available for pickup and delivery every week. Not to mention, who wants to go shopping? That's something they didn't even talk about. Just deliver it to your doorstep. Look at these. Look at these lovely colors. Those are primary colors. Jen spread the word about the kits on social media. This is actually the point. Hi, I'm a business owner, but my product and service is incredibly boring. Can we do social media now? Yeah, sure. We sure can. Yep. And you will be doing pretty much the same thing as everybody else. Generic content time. You know, you got to do it because you have to be in the yellow pages. This is the modern yellow pages. But the real joy of the situation is either killing it on Google Ads, running an SEO program so that you show up when people search for you, yes. But look at Jen spreading the word about the kits. Like, what's gonna take off? I mean, let's just be honest here. But she used she used the bakery's digital presence to do more than promote new products. She expressed gratitude to her loyal customers, highlighted, look, if you have a good product for Facebook, so I'm not saying being a plumber is a bad product. I'm just saying it's not viral. I mean, you got to go way out of your way and you got to be super creative to get anywhere near viral for that sort of thing. Hi, I'm a CPA and here's all my awesome viral content. No, there are certain things, there are certain services that just lend themselves better to it, which is why SEO plus pay-per-click makes sense for so many businesses. But in the rare instance that you have someone with a really genuinely good idea, like Jen here, then it's easy to highlight your hardworking staff, right? Because you actually have an audience. You actually have people that are interested. You have people sharing your content because the product itself is innovative and interesting. So it just takes a lot of brain power. Inspired by Jen's story, we caught up with her to hear about launching a new product during the COVID-19 outbreak. How did you come up with the idea, Jen? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, things have gone really well for me. Yeah, because you had a great idea and you executed on it. Good job, Jen. You did it. Warning prompts added to Messenger threads. What? Say what now? Scamming has unfortunately run amok. That's one of those words you never use, but you read. Amok. My children are running amok on the platform for over a decade now. And Facebook is making clear efforts to try to stop this or at least significantly reduce it. That, of course, is scamming. This includes new warnings, prompts that pop up with Facebook's algorithm when it flags suspicious activity from someone contacting you through your inbox. They'll ask you if you know the person, and if you say no, they'll go over steps you can take and inform you about common scams they always encourage you to refuse requests for money. This obviously reminds me of when I was streaming the other day and someone threatened to bomb my house. You've got, on the one hand, Wichita police incarcerating a couple of people for a Facebook post. And then you've got Facebook trying to censor, I'm not censor, but stop obvious scammers. I mean, the consequences of our online activity have never been more real. There are so many bad actors online. It's crazy how many bad actors there are. But then when you try to push your political ideology, all of a sudden you're labeled a bad actor. Where's the line? And based on where you live and how you and how exactly the exact words you use determine what happens to you. There was an interesting video I saw the other day of, it was just the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre in China. And a gentleman just walked up to Chinese people in China and speaking Mandarin and said, hey, do you know what day it is? And when it dawned on him that it was the anniversary, every one of those people just said and walked away. You can't talk about it in China, or at least it's culturally inappropriate to even talk about the day itself. Strange times we live in. The algorithm uses machine learning and looks for common signals that indicate fraudulent or scamming behavior. The signals include the user sending out a large number of messages to people they haven't interacted with before or using specific keywords. Okay, so Google's going for it. I get it. All right. So much Thursday. Wichita police make 2 arrests in social media threat towards area communities. Yeesh. Yeesh, yeesh, yeesh. On a post. Facebook Marketplace is open for businesses selling new products. This is quite interesting. If you're selling a product and you're not on Facebook Marketplace and looking at integrating Instagram as well, this is something to dive into. Diagnose Google Ads performance. This is a big deal if you're a pay-per-click person. If you are hiring a pay-per-click company and there's an ad that you see in your report that doesn't do as well, the conversions have dropped, whatever, you can say, hey, what is the Google Ads explanation? And if your pay-per-click provider says, I don't know what you're talking about, you can say, well, Google provides explanations. And then this searchenginejournal.com article will provide them with that information. So you can know exactly why it is that an ad is converting at a higher or lower rate based on actual data. And I think that is phenomenal. COVID messaging, it's burnt toast at this point. You can only hear it so many times before you want to throw in the towel. I think people are over it by and large. That being said, there are wildly different feelings about this virus and opening versus not reopening based on where you are in life. And so a lot of really strong feelings. I've talked with people who are absolutely shelter in place indefinitely. And I've talked to folks who are just livid about the economic impact and everywhere in between. So I think despite people's feelings about COVID, the messaging, at least from my perspective, and the data bears this out, is getting a little bit old. Facebook. Jen Choi killed it. She's an example of someone who saw the pandemic as a destructive force, saw it as something that could cripple her business, and she somehow found a way. This, of course, isn't to say that everyone can. That's the ridiculous takeaway that is sometimes, the end results of reading stories like this. You think, oh, well, if I was just smart enough. No, there are a lot of businesses that are just suffering. Jen was able to adapt. I think for a lot of people, they would have said, oh, poor Jen. She was a restaurant. She's toast. There's nothing she can do. She turned on a dime. Obviously, many restaurants went the delivery route. This particular idea was pretty creative. So pretty impressed by that. And then last but not least, what was it? Facebook? Shops? Yeah. We're not going to go over that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 10:59. Oh my gosh, it's 11. We did it. We did the full 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. As always, if anyone ever wants to hit that like button, or as my daughter would say, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We would super appreciate it. We're here 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every single day. Feel free to throw a comment in the chat. I just saw a like come through. Oh, my heart, it warms. It warms my heart. Thank you, user. You are one of 46,000 people on the live stream right now. So thank you for throwing out that like. I have a guess as to who it is. Okay, you guys are the best. Proud of you. And we will see you tomorrow morning at the same time. Goodbye.